business for the Blue Devils. But guys, if Duke does pull this off against their rival, we may think about renaming this Duke team the Avengers, because it feels like they're on a mission. What do you think?
They don't have their capes on to start, but we'll see how it progresses today. They do have their traditional Duke blues. Home whites for NC State, the #1 seed. The 1 seeds have fared very well the last 25 years, winning 18 of the 25 championships. Underway in the first of our 3 finals with the SEC and the Big 12 to follow.
2 different defensive looks here. For NC State, more of a softer cover on the defensive end. They have to be good off the bounce.
They run with 4 guards, and Tilda Trieger much improved to start out in the 5 spot. They had to go deep in their bench yesterday, and the bigs responded big time. And here is James off the bounce.
Duke is also a tremendous offensive rebounding team. They're going to have to make shots. They're going to get them because the actions they run offensively are going to put NC State at a deficit on the defensive end.
Only 1 senior out there for Duke. The youngsters have aged quickly. Ashlon Jackson had 6 triples in the first meeting between these 2 sides. Duke will look to improve on a poor 3-point shooting performance in the semis. Here's Sanaya Rivers. The drive, the dish, James wide open, in and out. Adrenaline early for both these sides. So close, Debbie, a couple of years ago to winning the regular season. Lost it the last game of the year. And now a chance for Kara and these Blue Devils to get their first ring.
As you mentioned earlier about this game in the regular season was phenomenal.
Only Gino Ariema has more wins amongst active coaches in college basketball. A win today for Wes, and he will tie the all-time NC State great head coach Kay Yao with a 4th tournament title. And he'll do it in 6 years if they get one. Brooks in the lane, and Zoe hangs and hits.
You know, Duke is typically up the line, and they're playing a little bit more in the gaps to start the game. I think they're concerned about NC State's ability off the bounce.
Jackson taken away by Rivers. Regular season matchup was in the 80s as James hits from outside, and it's a great start for the Pack and a 7-0 run. It's been around a while. It's the oldest tournament in women's hoops. A combined 35 championship game appearances with 15 titles. North Carolina, the most of the active teams with 9. Maryland, when they were in the league, had 10.
These coaches know each other's plays, signal calls, all of that so well.
Oluchi Okananwa, she played over 30 minutes off the bench yesterday, and she'll draw a foul. Wes now in his 36th year as a head coach, and perhaps one of the most underappreciated. Last year, from unranked in the preseason all the way to the Final Four in the postseason.
Wes Moore has been a head coach 36 years, and 15 of those seasons he's been coach of the year in that respective league, including his 4th time as coach of the year in the ACC. So interesting, Kay Yao's a Naismith Hall of Famer, but she never won the ACC Coach of the Year award.
Okananwa on the drive,
and really good rebounder from the guard position.
And this is where they win games. Her, along with Jaden Donovan, a member of the All-ACC defensive team, they locked down Notre Dame yesterday. Rivers picks off the pass. 3 turnovers in 4 minutes for Duke. Hayes for 3, got it.
NC State so far has matched the energy that Duke has played with, especially on this end of the floor.
Okananwa. Donovan, weak side rebound. Tiana Mayer, a 20-point performance in the regular season matchup, and this is where NC State's got to be able to hang with Duke. They are fabulous on the offensive glass.
They offensive rebound 42% of the shots they miss. That's an outstanding number. And NC State better rebound with 2 hands today.
Rivers directing traffic, and she'll launch and hit another 3 for NC State.
Good job by Rivers to get in the stance, keep the ball in front, allow NC State to get organized behind her.
Fournier. Up and in.
You know she's not trying to pass it.
Yeah, that's the scout now on her. The teams have seen her. You dig down with a guard. James a little late and off the mark. So after a hot shooting start for NC State, they've cooled. And the Blue Devils trying to work their way back into it. Okananwa, boy, she is aggressive, looking to score.
That's a contested 2, and that's a really good defensive job.
Jackson. She also had a 6 3-point affair in their win against K-State. Brooks scores on the drive. That's where they're most effective. Fournier walked.
Jackson is more of a shooter than she is a driver. You play her as a shooter first.
2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 4 baskets and 4 turnovers for Duke. Rivers tipped up her own miss. Give her a field goal and a rebound on that one.
There's some athletes out here today.
She was up by the rim.
Ice in the ball screen, trying to keep it on the same side of the floor.
Cable had it, lost it. Number 2 in blue, Vanessa DeJesus checks in. She was a nice spark in the semis for Duke. 7 points. Trying to defend on Brooks. That's a tough call. And it's the biggest lead now for State.
They go a little floppy action on the baseline into their horns.
She'll step back, feeling confident. And that's going to be over the back. Good box out by Rivers.
4 possessions, because then it puts a lot of pressure on their offense.
Who do you look to here? Is this Rivers creating? 1 shot to go.
I'm opening it up, spreading it out, letting her go.
Trigger for 3, top of the key. Well played in our first quarter of our first game. Just 26% in that first quarter to 50% for NC State.
You know, they missed 11 shots, but they offensive rebounded 4 of them. So NC State's got to do a better job there, and they got to continue taking care of the basketball.
And State made them pay for every one of those turnovers in the first quarter. Off the miss, here comes NC State. ACC championship game. Duke looking for number 9, NC State looking for number 8, and it would be a 4th in 6 years with whispers of dynasty around Reynolds Coliseum with James making plays.
Especially in Reynolds, but it's not bad here.
A 36-point game against Duke this year, a 33-point game against the Blue Devils last year. Looking for more, got it. She's got the spotlight today in this championship Sunday with the SEC final and the Big 12 final to follow. Reagan Richardson muscles it up and in on the drive. 4 in 6 years would be awfully darn good. Brooks to Rivers on the drive and kick. Duke's got to get it going at this end of the floor, Debbie. Just 26% shooting.
Well, I'm wondering why Toby Fournier is not on the floor, because I thought she was effective scoring on the block. She is their leading scorer.
James tries the drive and travels. Ooh, that's a lot of ball for Donovan. Jackson trying to take charge, and she's doing just that.
She was the one doing most of the conversation in the huddle on the report that Taylor gave us, and she has delivered back-to-back buckets.
She's been in double digits 5 games in a row.
See how they're trying to push Sanaya Rivers to the left with their body language?
Oh, good. Pump fake by Brooks. The defender flies. Jackson deep 3. Heat check, not the right temperature. But then they're going to get a takeaway and a race to the other end. Jackson running with Okananwa for the lay-in.
You do all the hard work, accelerate NC State late, and you still can't make that shot.
Trigger, well, both defenders left her, and then Thomas, Zam Jones, the freshman, also out there for NC State. Hey, coming up next, 3 Eastern. So on deck, we've got Texas and South Carolina, probably 2 number 1 seeds to match it up with a tournament championship, and Haley Van Lith, the Big 12 Player of the Year at her 3rd school.
Texas and South Carolina split during the regular season. Each winning on their home court. That's going to be a good one at 3 o'clock right after us.
Baby. Madison Booker, the player of the year. And boy, the balance again. Everybody seems like somebody different every day for South Carolina, coming up with big numbers.
A lot of depth.
Yeah.
56 points off the bench yesterday.
How about that? Brooks with the step back. Got it. They're going to give her a 2 there. Jackson, the defender went under, and she buries it. Who's it going to be night in and night out? It's looking like Jackson today. Rivers finds a seam in the defense, missed it. Duke trying to get it back into single digits. Okananwa, she hits a triple. James gets to the baseline and scores. Count it. Donovan Lake coming over to help. 11 now for Isaiah James. Okananwa hits the open jumper, and that's Jones. Didn't get out on her. Final minute of this first half. And it looks like James stepped out of bounds and may have hurt her hip on the landing. Duke across midcourt here in this final minute. Been trailing throughout by as many as 14. Fournier, the double comes from the guard. The kick out, Okananwa, no. And that'll be a foul on Mayer. Oh boy, into a wheelchair for Isaiah James.
Well, in the absence of James for the game right now, Zoe Brooks has 11 points. Most improved in the ACC this year.
78%, hits a pair there. Shot clock's off.
Watch for Wood on the flare screen. There she
gets herself lost. Weak side. Rivers doesn't get out to close, and Wood hits the 3. The heave at the buzzer. Perfect execution by Duke to get that shot off. Great news for NC State. Isaiah James is back out on the floor. She's going to give it a go to start this second half after an apparent leg or hip injury late in the second quarter.
Okananwa starts the second half, Beth, on Zoe Brooks.
Brooks and James scored 15 in the second quarter. Jackson and Okananwa scored 14 in the second quarter.
I like what Kara Loss is doing right here with Jackson on the top of the floor. Now she's got an offensive package on the court with Jackson running the point on top. NC State with that soft cover, likes to go under.
Richardson, nice pocket pass to Thomas.
Really nice. Right in the middle third, executed perfectly.
Her first bucket on the pick and roll. Hayes swatted by Donovan.
And because it's so tight below the free throw line, can't tag from the weak side and help.
Keeping an eye on how effective James is. Here she is with the ball, spinning into the lane, hanging and missing that effort, but she'll pop right back up. Duke on the counter. Jackson calling for it, getting it, and hit it. Rivers from Trieger. She'll try for 3, and Sanaya hits it.
Sanaya is just showing everybody in the WNBA that she can shoot the 3 off a flare. Well done.
Terrific start to our day. The SEC Championship coming up next. The Big 12 Championship after that. Last chance to impress the selection committee before the selection show 1 week from today, as Okananwa is having herself an ACC tournament. James, big curl, and draws the foul. Had herself a fantastic postseason a year ago in the NCAA tournament and the run to the Final Four. Sunday, we will have the selection special, 8 p.m. Eastern on March 16th. Coming up next, implications for the overall #1 seed in the field. Okananwa swatted by Rivers. Sanaya spins short.
Good hustle by Madison Hayes. Keep up with Okananwa. She can single-handedly change the tempo and the rhythm of the game. Just her energy and her effort alone.
Jackson weaving high off the window for Ashlon. She's got 14. James got it.
I really don't know who can guard her in the ACC. She has been fantastic all season.
So Oluchi to the line, 70% on the season. But she's been getting starter minutes here at the ACC Tournament after coming off the bench much of the regular season.
Well, that's been the adjustment here in the second half. Her in the starting lineup and Jackson on the top of the floor running the offense.
And now Fournier's out there with her coming off the bench for Duke, defending here on Trieger. Look at Okananwa denying the pass back to Brooks. Trieger off the dribble. And the Blue Devils a chance to tie it or take the lead. Richardson mid-range. All even. They've come back from a 14-point deficit. James pulls up. Blue Devils hunting for their first lead of this final.
They have scored each time they've thrown over the top of NC State's defense. When they've thrown the skip in the quarter court, you're naturally going to be late on a closeout, and Duke has the players to get into the mid-range.
Mayer down the left side of the lane, and the Blue Devils are in front.
The momentum of this game is completely shifted.
And Oluchi right now looking very much like an MVP candidate for this ACC tournament with the Blue Devils up 2. Duke looking for a 9th championship, but it's been a minute. Their last title was 2013. SEC's next, Big 12 after that, all coming your way on ESPN. Fournier. And now Jaden Donovan. Everybody with a touch. Fournier gets the lay-in.
Really good ball movement. Excellent execution off the dead ball timeout by Kara Lawson's team. NC State is playing that softer cover, and I kept saying that Duke was going to have to make shots.
Jackson, they keep her on the left side, and it's knocked loose by Brooks and out of bounds off of Duke. Rivers short. Jackson. Back to her from Oluchi for 3. Terrific decision.
For a different offensive package and a different look for NC State to defend.
NC State, meanwhile, 3 of 13 in this third quarter, losing the big lead. And the Blue Devils, their 9th offensive rebound, and they've got their biggest lead of the day.
Not sure that's the shot for Westmore, even though it's Isaiah James. And the long 3 is a leak out for the Blue Devils.
Wood finishes. Rebound and run. Timeout, Wolfpack. And from 14 down to 7 up. A 3-touchdown swing. Jones.
Duke switching on everything.
5 on the shot clock. Zam off the bounce, drops it off for Isaiah and misses the gimme. Okananwa.
Got to make Duke come back to the basketball.
Jackson. Duke turns this around in a big third quarter. 4 losses in the league, and they have avenged 3 of the 4, beating North Carolina late, and now Louisville and Notre Dame here in the ACC Tournament. One piece of unfinished business against NC State here today. And Oluchi Okananwa has been dynamite here in the tournament for Duke.
10 minutes to the title. Who wants it more? Who's willing to execute the details, to get in a stance, to get back in transition, to be on the glass, make the big shots?
Okananwa's got 20 on the day. How does this experienced NC State team respond? They go to Isaiah James. Thomas. Weak side, Donovan got over the 6'5" Wu, has to hurry, and banks it in to beat the shot clock.
I think it's good, but they got to look at it.
The next dead ball, yep. Her first basket.
I'm surprised they didn't look at it now because of where we are in the game.
A 10-point Blue Devil lead.
The bench is screaming, shoot it, shoot it. Oh, maybe not, Beth. She might not have got it off.
Stands for now. James showing up early in this fourth quarter. Isaiah now with 18.
That's why they should have looked at it. It matters right now. NC State getting in a stance.
Donovan in the lane, rattles in another one.
Incredible hang time. Move without the ball.
And now James and Rivers. Sanaya gets an open look and hits the 3.
She was telling James to give her the ball for about 5 seconds there. A lot of red in the house, getting active.
Richardson steps behind the screen. For all these Duke Blue Devils, their first time in the finals, trying for that first championship. Rivers, too much mustard on that pass. Boy, they are getting opportunities. Jackson with the offensive rebound and a foul.
She only has 1 foul.
And then the Cavs and the Bucks tonight on ESPN. Duke has bumped this up to a 12-point lead.
You got to run some stuff for Isaiah right here. I would think she is the person NC State wants to have the ball. Duke has multiple defenders they can put on her.
Brooks drives, gets the shot blocked. And it's off of NC State.
Brooks has not had a basket here in the second half.
Jackson into the lane. No. Thomas, offensive rebound. Punishing NC State on the glass.
Duke's athleticism is elite.
Sam Jones, that's in and out. And another one-and-done trip. And that's going to be an offensive foul with a high elbow from Delaney Thomas. With
Last
10-point
play that
game.
was reviewed is a personal foul on Duke. NC State ball underneath the basket.
So they didn't upgrade it.
And now we're good at 65-53. .12 game, under 5 to go for the championship. The first of 3 today. The SEC's up next, the Big 12 after that. Rivers almost got an N1.
See Zam Jones back on the bench with a face mask on, a temporary looking face mask.
And coming up next, it is the SEC championship game. And then the Phillips 66 Big 12 championship. Baylor and TCU. TCU solid to host. Baylor trying to grab a top 16 seed for the NCAA tournament. NC State is a 2 right now in all likelihood. Duke might be playing for a 2 seed if they win this title. They're on the cusp as a 3 right now. Jackson, short, and it's another offensive rebound. Duke making the hustle plays here in the 4th, and Okananwa ties her career high with 22.
Now there's got to be a sense of urgency for NC State. They have got to pick up the tempo offensively, push, look to score quickly. And they're jogging through their actions.
James with the spin, short. And then she fouls Okananwa.
In the second half to match what Duke has been able to do. And Duke has been on the glass. They've pushed in tempo. They've been very good defensively.
And offensively, they have been in a rhythm.
And they have made shots.
Big second half continues. James one and done. And the Blue Devils revving it up. Fournier fouled.
What a swing. They would be able to make enough shots. Well, they've made shots here in the second half.
They sure have. To the tune of 59%.
That's not all fatigue by NC State either. That's Duke's energy, effort, and connected team play on both ends of the floor.
Oh, so close to a regular season title. A couple of years ago, they lost it on the last day of the regular season to North Carolina.
Start Oluchi Okananwa in the second half, and NC State just never matched the energy.
Looking like they're going to go 4 for 4 on their Avengers tour and take down NC State after losing to them in the regular season. And why not add to your offensive rebound tally? It's been a difference maker today.
Absolutely.
Final 2 minutes.
Incredible job on the glass. 14 offensive rebounds to NC State's 4. And Duke has out-rebounded NC State by 20 in the game.
All after NC State led in the first half by 14 points. Bracketology has them as the 6th best seed. That's a number 2. They'll probably stay on that line. LSU's already lost in the SEC tournament.
Right, and that means that if you stick with the S curve, that changes some things around the ACC and other leagues with these multiple power conferences. I mean, look at Louisville. They're right now a 7. They can't stay on the 7 line with 3 2s from the ACC, right? They have to move to the 6.
I would imagine, too, with this kind of strength at the top of the league, that's got to help Virginia Tech maybe grab the last spot. Stick around. Got the SEC final coming up next with Texas and South Carolina. SEC title in 11
It's
years.
impressive. It's very impressive. Coach Staley has done a marvelous job there.
So that's on deck. And now Mayer. And a major rally in the second half to put this one away, and they will upset the 2 seed in the semi. And just how far can these 2 teams go? NC State was in the Final Four last year. Can they get back? Can Duke make a run at it? We'll find out where they sit in the bracket on Selection Sunday, a week from today. Jackson misfires. And the Duke Blue Devils with a big second half comeback. And the 2025 Atlantic Coast Conference champions, for the first time in 12 years, the Duke Blue Devils win it all.